everyone, and welcome to another Casual Team Gaming Shoutcast. Today we'll be doing what looks to be about a 2100 elo match. I did lol king a couple of the people here. A few of them were in the 2100s, and a couple were just in the 2000s to the 1900s. But still, it's going to be a very high elo match. We're going to get in this one at about 2:30, so we're going to get in this one from the very start. We're going to go ahead and go over everything as of what's going on. It looks like we have a Rumble versus the Riven in a solo top situation. Rumble is just barely a little bit more HP, but the Riven definitely has more damage in the early game. Rumble is more a mid to late game hero, but does have a very good early game harass, just maybe not against the Riven. Shyvana is always going to be low in the jungle. She's going to find the Lee Sin out, who is her counter opponent. Jungle going to be the first blood. Easy pickup for the Lee Sin right there. It's definitely something you need to watch out. But here comes the Riven. She could choose to flash the wall, possibly, but here comes Diana. It's going to be a pretty easy pickup for Diana. Boom! Right into it. Not going to be enough. She's going to drop the Ignite, but he does have his own shield plus potions. She's not going to be able to pick it up, but he does die to the towers anyways. I don't really know what he was going to accomplish there. Let's go ahead and head to the bottom end real quick. Seems like Tristana and Kog'Maw traded really well, but Lulu definitely being out on this trade here. There's another kill. They're going to easily be able to pick this one up, I think. No, she does actually use her second jump, so it's going to go back onto cooldown. There's not enough of a range to pick off the Kog'Maw as well. No, Tristana as Alistar is a ridiculously high amount of damage and a lot of CC to knock up the knockback and the slow from the Tristana with the Ignite on her E ability. It's really going to help out with the damage. Now the Alistar is going to be able to keep her up with his heal. He doesn't have it just yet. Level 3, he'll probably pick up that heal, which he will right there. As we just saw, picks up the heal so he can get his Tristana back up into the higher amount of HP pools. Now right now, Twisted Fate v Diana. I'm not exactly sure what to say to this. She is a really strong AP carry mid versus kind of a shifty AP in the form of a Twisted Fate. He is a little more shifty than the Diana. Diana's looking to get a kill on this Lee Sin, but with Twisted Fate there, they might not be able to do it. Now she's going to try to juke out his Q, but he's going to be very patient about throwing it. He's going to go ahead and get her right here. Easy pickup. They're going to be able to get the stealth, but it's just not going to be enough damage. We'll do really good damage to her, so he can trade with the middle, so trade much better with her instead of being really one-sided with her. Shield works where it now effectively is better. It was a little underwhelming to Diana because of how the shield rework worked. Made the range on the bubbles a lot lower, but now they increased that back to her auto attack range. It's a little bit more than her auto attack range, which is pretty much what it should have been in the beginning. It was a little too far in the earliest stages of the game. As a AP carry, it had actually a lot more range. Since she was melee, she was going up against melee APs, or melee characters in general in the solo top. She's not necessarily played as an AP carry in the mid lane, but this looks like what they're going to end up doing here. Have a lot of damage going on. The Kog'Maw, the Tristana is going to be able to get easily a knockback on him. Now she's going to let Alistar could have easily punched her again, but she's going to be able to jump away and take no damage. Alistar's going to take that true damage from the caustic bio-arcane explosion of Kog'Maw. A Cathian surprise. Oh, wow, easy pickup for this Lee Sin into the Twisted Fate combo. It's going to be really strong. The Twisted Fate is going to be doing really well in the mid line. Does actually pick up the double buff from somewhere. I'm pretty sure that was the Lee Sin's double buffs earlier, so that'll recycle and actually allow the double buffs to respawn for both teams before they end up doing anything. Now, Shyvana does not have as strong a ganks as the Lee Sin does, and I do not like that skin. By the way, it is definitely not my favorite skin for Shyvana. She doesn't really have a lot of good ones. Her Ironclad and her Bone Scythe, her Bone skin is probably the best ones. I really don't like the Dark Flame Shyvana. The effects look kind of cheesy to me, and that bothers me greatly as a player of Shyvana. Now, I'm not very... When Shyvana first came out, I was, for some reason I could play her so much better than I can play her now. I don't really know what changed. I do have a couple of occasions where I'll play Shyvana in really good matches where I'll just be, not even fed, but just doing really well and pretty much on par with the rest of my team and the enemy team. So we won't have to worry about that, but the Rumble in the jungle is definitely something you might want to look out for. He's definitely going to be a lot of damage to mess with here very soon. He's got a lot of armor to negate some of the Riven's damage. Shyvana's coming down. Here comes Diana to come gank. Now, I don't know what Alistair was doing here, he really just kind of stood still. They're going to easily pick him off, and Lee Sin is here. I don't think they know that. I don't think they have a... Well, they do have ward coverage. Here comes TF. He's going to easily be able to help them out right there. Takes down that. They're going to take down the Tristana. No, the shield's going to save her. She's going to be able to live. And she has to be careful because the Kog'Maw could pick her off. I don't know if he has enough for his Bioarcane Barrage, but they do. Going to be a pretty easy pickup for somebody here if they don't be careful. Kog'Maw can actually do something, especially with the Diana support. She's a little low on mana, so she might not have enough to really do a full combo. She has enough to do 3 of her abilities. If that was the Pale Crescent into her Crescent Slash, or Pale Cascade into the Crescent Slash into a Lunar Rush. That's about all she could do at this point to contribute to a fight, which is enough. She does a lot of damage to those abilities. That did actually improve her range on her ulti, so now she does even more more utility, I want to say. Here comes the Diana, is to be able to heal up and get a lot of mana back from that blue buff. Needs to be careful. Riven's kind of taking the wraiths, but Shyvana doesn't want her to. Shyvana is not doing that hot, so Riven doesn't really need to be taking wraiths at this point, being really far ahead as she is. Now, the Shyvana does have better farm, but she is down, down to death. But she does have better farm than the Riven, which is interesting to see that. But here comes Rumble, followed by the Lee Sin. They're going to look like, I guess, for a gank on the, or counter jungling a little bit, and possibly a gank onto the Diana in the mid lane. Wow, actually wasted the Rumble ulti, and they trade each other in mid lane without anyone actually being able to assist in that. Now Rumble is going to come up back behind this Riven, but she's going to have that ward right there. She's going to easily spot him, and he probably knows that by now, and he's just going to use a little bit of deterrent with his flame spitter there. Now he does have his passive popped. For some of you aren't familiar with Rumble, Junkyard Titan is the name of his passive. It actually, when he gets heat, is how his abilities don't use mana, they don't use health, they generate heat. The heat is, wow, actually we're going to get a little action in the mid lane there. Looks like they're going to have almost a trade for each other. That would have been pretty bad for the Lee Sin if he was not careful. He yawns today, and there's a dead Riven, and there's a Rumble. Going to be able to get out pretty fine. As I said before, his passive, as I was saying, his ability to generate heat, when he gets to 50 heat, which is the danger zone, any ability cast after that 50 heat mark has an increased bonus, basically, except for his ultimate, of course. His Flame Spirit does 25% bonus damage. That gets more 25% more movement speed and shield. That gets 25 more damage and slow percentage. So, and it is a ridiculous amount, because if you look at it, it's 40% of a stacking slow, and 25% of that is really going to add that on. So that's going to be a pretty big thing. Now a lot of pings going out in the bottom lane. Looks like Alistair's going to be able to flash punch somebody into the dirt. He's going to miss his Q right there, and Kog'Maw's going to miss his ulti as well. Not going to be able to do anything really with this. They don't have any ward coverage right here to assist with the ganks from the lane. Here comes TF. He actually is going to land that. They're going to be able to get something out of this. They're going to miss him with the ultimate, and they're going to go down. Now, he's going to do a lot of damage to this Tristana and this TF, but it's not going to be that big of a deal. And here comes the Lulu, just kind of chilling in the lane. She's going to try to, I guess, get some farm, but I don't really see her doing much else with it. It's definitely not something you want to stick around with a Tristana and a TF on the way. I mean, he's just there. Now, Diana's going to easily pick up this Tristana, I'm pretty sure. Actually, Tristana's just going to... Wow, here comes a flash, but she's going to flash her own and cleanse the Ignite. Bull Summoner's down and the ulti down for the Tristana. Very much an upset Tristana. And here comes the Shyvana, I guess, trying to do a little bit of work to this Lee Sin. She can definitely kill him right now, but he's going to flash. She's going to take a lot of extra tower shots. You have to be careful with Lee Sin's around. He does have his ulti. It's a lot of burst damage. 200 base at level 1 is a lot of damage. I mean, it is a knockback, but if he positions himself really well, he can easily kick her back in between his 2 towers. And or at least in between this tower if he pushes her over here. It's definitely something to look out for when you're playing against Lee Sin. His positioning is really big. He's going to try to kite around you, get an auto attack step in every time he goes for an auto attack. These odds are absurd. You kind of want to push your advantage on it. You want to push your advantage on Lee Sin by trying to countering his auto attacks. By countering his auto attacks, you can actually do really well in the whole scheme of things. Now they're gonna be able to probably easily pick up this kill onto her, and there we go. That's an easy death. She's not gonna pick up anything for it, and she's gonna go down. So that's pretty much all it takes. Now Riven is here. They need to be kind of careful. She could technically still hold the both of them at her current level 8. She definitely has the damage for it. She pops her ulti right now, and Lee Sin can definitely die. And the TF stun is what she's concerned about, and taking the extra damage. So she does manage to shield most of that. He's not going to dive her. That would be a silly mistake on his part. She's going to be able to dodge the TF cards, and they're going to be able to walk away from that pretty easily. Now we're going to go ahead and go back to the bottom lane right now. Let's see if a little action. This Tristana is definitely doing really well. The problem with Tristana is she's going to push. That's inevitable because of how her E works. She's going to get the skill. It's an ignite. It's an ability. Now this is a pretty heavy gank, a 4-man gank. They're really going to shut down this Cog while they're the lane. And she actually ultis him as he dies, which is kind of interesting. I actually did not know that would work. That's pretty cool. But she ultied as he died, and that was the big deal right there. That ulti probably would have saved him a little bit, but I guess it might not have. She's going to do a little work to this Tristana. The Alistar's going to be able to take a tower shot, but here comes the Shyvana and the Riven. The Diana's going to be able to clean up onto the Lee Sin, and then they're going to each get a kill on one the Alistar and the second on the Tristana. 2 for 3 was definitely worth it. A little bit of an odd team fight in the bottom lane. TF was the only one to make it out of there alive, but they did leave Rumble to push the top lane, so he's probably going to be able to pick up that turret right now. There he goes, and he's going to continue his push and probably just go back at this point after he last hits all the minions. There we go. He's going to go ahead and go back, I think, right about now. I have a little bit of a team hate on each side there. TF is definitely going to be able to do a lot of damage in the later game. He's not an early game carry at all. He definitely requires a lot of farm, which is kind of why his passive is loaded dice. He gains extra gold per minion kill or champion kill, along with his allies as well. He gives a really big team boost. It's definitely going to keep why their goal is going to be a little bit higher, not because they have 5 higher kills. If you look, it's really close. It's going to be really down to the fact that it's going to be that extra gold per minion. I mean, if you look at it, the minions, let's see here, no one really has about, let's look at Tristana too. One of those two. Tristana has 4 kills and has 4,900. You know, it's a little bit of a difference. They have 1 kill to 300 gold difference. The only reason they're really winning is because of the TF passive, which is going to help out a ton in the later game. Now, they need to be careful. Kog'Maw can definitely 1v1 a Tristana. That is not an issue. She cannot fight him at all. That's something she needs to watch out for because he is a very strong carry as a character, and she's going to easily be able to get sniped down if she's not incredibly careful. Now, here comes the Alistar. Here comes the TF. He's going to be able to do something here. They're not going to really be able to help. She's going to last hit, I think, this Kog'Maw right there. She's going to have to back off, though. Not going to be able to do anything. The ulti was used by only the TF, and the Tristana to knock Kog'Maw away, so she didn't die in that exchange. She actually baited that really well. That was an interesting play on her part. She probably, I don't know if she thought she was going to beat him easily or what, but she definitely was able to bait that long enough to have her team come in and assist. Well, Lichbane pick up on the Twisted Fate already, so he's definitely farming and getting enough kills to get his early game item that he definitely needs the most. I feel that Lichbane is probably the strongest. Now Riven is going to easily be able to fight down this Rumble. She actually got outflashed right there by the Rumble. That was really well played on his part. He managed to flash behind her. Thought she was going to throw the ulti of hers. Now Shyvana's going to easily probably be able to pick this up. I don't know if Rumble's going to be able to make it out. He needs assistance. He has his 2 teammates coming up. She's going to back off. That's just something she doesn't need to be doing right now. And then Lee Sin's going to be able to kick her away and really slow down her advance. He's going to slow her right here, get some punches in. He's going to probably take a lot of damage in this exchange, and there we go. He tries to KS it with his second attack on his Q, his Sonic Wave into his flying kick, but it's just not enough damage. The TF does have a Lichbane now. That's going to boost his damage exponentially with his stack deck and pick a card. That's going to be pretty interesting to look at after a while. The new effects on these are awesome, by the way. I do like the new ward changes on the map. I do like the new recall and teleport animations. It's just so much nicer when you're shoutcasting. You really know where ward coverage is when looking around. You can see it a lot easier. It's a different shape. It's a little bigger, so you can really notice it. You're going to notice recalls a lot more. You're going to be able to see the teleports a lot more. That kind of stuff is definitely going to be really easy to see. Now, they do need to be careful right here. The recall's coming out from the Diana, but here comes the Alistar and the TF with the Lee Sin backup support. Now, they do pop the ulti, which is going to have a pretty massive slow. Alistar's taking a lot of damage here. He might actually go down to the... I might actually go down right there. And there's a stack deck onto the Lich Bane proc. That's really going to be what everything's about right now. They're going to easily be able to jump on that. Now she's going to be able to jump away, I think. Oh no, that actually did not set her alive. So that's going to keep her alive. But it did not reset because she used it before he died. She used it after he died and he landed. Then she got the damage off. So that's going to actually be a problem. She manages to dodge the Riven ulti. But she's probably going to go down right here anyway. I don't see her making it out. She might try to suicide. Good girl. She managed to make it all the way to the suicide location. And that's actually much, much better.
Purple team's turret has been destroyed.
Potato apparently is someone that I don't know. Thought I was pretty well versed in the whole professional scene, but I guess not. Potato. Someone might be able to tell me, but I have no idea. I could just be not thinking clearly, and I know who they are. But I don't keep up with alts that much, so that's probably the reason. It's probably an alt of someone that I don't know. Potato. I don't know who would name themselves that, but either way, definitely going to be a dead Lulu right here. I don't see her making it out of this one. I need 129 gold. It's just not worth much anymore. And here comes the Riven to try to do something. I guess not. And the Shyvana's going to be able to walk away. They're both very low. The blue team is definitely showing their dominance at 19-7 at this point in the game. 3 towers down, 0 for the purple team. I have no idea. It's weird. Oh man. Oh geez, TF is gonna die right here. He really tried to turn that around, but it definitely wasn't happening. But I'll still do it for him. Do a little bit of damage to this passive. Lee Sin wasn't able to dodge that one in time. Rumble's gonna get crapped on by this Shyvana. It looks like they're really not doing much damage to her, and she's trading rather well. Alistar's got his ulti popped and he's tanking the turret. Not able to do any real damage. She's still tanking this turret. He's gonna go down. They're going to pick off the Shyvana. The Rumble's going to pick off the Shyvana. The Lee Sin's going to pick off the Riven. There's the kick. And nope, the Rumble Flamethrower actually manages to pick that up. Lee Sin's going to easily be able to keep himself alive with his lifesteal from his Wriggles and his own lifesteal, which is actually just got a recent buff. 4%. It's not a lot of percentages, only 4%. 4% change in an armor reduct might make Lee Sin a little less strong. I feel like he's still going to be fine. He's just, that's meant, like they said in the video, that's meant to be a sustain kind of thing, not a buff in a sorts. So the armor, losing the armor is probably not going to be that big of a deal. Now the Diana could easily combo down this Tristana, so she definitely needs to be really careful. But I do like how Diana is played. She's a really fun AP character. She's kind of like an AP carry, but in assassin form. They did increase the range on her ulti by quite a bit. So she's gonna, wow, what a good jump right there. She waited for the pull, for the jump to go off in the mid of the pull. That's gonna allow her to escape and not take a lot more extra damage. So the Diana could definitely solo her down again right here. Here comes the TF. He's gonna easily probably be able to clean up this poor Diana, who's not really being able to do very good this match. The purple team doesn't feel like surrendering apparently. So I guess they really want to play this out, which is usually, I prefer just playing it out even if I'm losing. It is a rare occasion unless I'm actually just mad about losing and I really don't feel like we should have lost or we're losing the current game. Then I'll keep, then I'll surrender, but I usually end up playing the game to the end because most of the time lately I've actually been able to pull it out and we win in the end. That's really why you don't ever surrender unless you feel like it's truly, truly lost. I mean, at this point, it's looking really grim, but the Diana and the Riven and the Shyvana are definitely going to be able to out-carry the enemy team. Shavada is going to get a lot of damage, and eventually she's going to start getting some HP and armor and stuff like that. Diana's just going to get stronger and stronger. Her burst eventually becomes absurd, along with the Riven as well into that. The Kog'Maw is going to get really, really heavy. Once he starts getting into the more AD heavy items, he's going to get ridiculously hard to fight. Along with the Lulu, who's just going to get stronger with levels. She is doing really bad this game, but it's okay. I mean, wow, we actually managed to pop Lulu up over the wall with that. That's pretty funny. Alistair gets polymorphed. They're going to easily probably be able to take down this Riven, right? The Riven's going to easily be able to clean this up. Don't use their ulti. Actually got kicked through the wall. That was actually a really well-placed Lee Sin ulti. Now Rumble's going to easily be able to probably clean all this up. Here comes the TF to assist with that problem. And this Rumble is just walking through their team pretty much. He doesn't have to care. He'll take most of the Cassian surprise with his shield. He was in the danger zone, so 25% more on his shield numbers is going to be pretty heavy. They're all just going to back off, not try to defend this, and they're going to be able to push the tower right here. And wow, look at that damage from the TF with his Lichbane. It's the same concept as Ziggs with the Lichbane. Towers are just going to fall. This is really about to be the GG. I mean, I don't see the purple team coming back from this. As I said, never surrender, but it's definitely something you might want to look at when you're this far behind. I mean, this is pretty far behind for... Wow, look at that damage on the Lulu. She's easily going to die actually to the Sonic Wave. Now, Alistair is going to tank some of the tower shots for somebody. Lee Sin's going to get a little careful here. Does have to ignite by the Rumble. They're easily going to be able to pick off the Lee Sin. And then the TF is going to fall right after, and so is the Alistair. So, as I said before, they can defend this. I really don't see them doing it. The purple team just overextended right there, but they 3 for 2. But the Rumble will easily be able to fight down this Diana. She really doesn't need to be standing here right now. He's starting to lose, I think, and he if he just stayed and fight, he might have been able to pick that up. But the Rumble's going to die to the Diana. I think if he'd have just fought that, he would have been able to do it instead of just taking all those shots. Now they're going to easily be able to pick it up. Kog'Maw's actually rather low on mana, so I don't know if he's going to be able to keep ulting. He's going to have to wait for the stack of his ulti to go down. Something similar to a Kassadin without the bonus of a damage increase. Just the mana cost goes up, and that's kind of what it's for. I mean, the 400 mana cost full stack is a little absurd. It's definitely something you don't want to spam. It's really safe for poking down enemies one at a time and trying to snipe out kills with the Bioarcane. With the Bioarcane Barrage and the ulti in conjunction. His range is probably I think it matches Tristana at 18. I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me. But it's definitely something to look at. Now, I think the cap on the Lulu is pretty much going to be set at 120 gold, which is going to be a little, I guess, a little upsetting. I don't think she's died quite enough yet. But here comes the TF. I don't know where he's going to be able to port to. There it is. Actually, you can see the animation on the map. I bet it works for Shen ulti too. I've never been able to actually test that, but here comes Alistair. I don't see her getting away. And wow, she's actually going to be able to ghost past this with her burnout ability. I just don't like the look of the dragon. I mean, if you look at it, it's just not that good. There's the slow. That's going to be her death. She's not going to be able. There's the Alistair combo, and there. Wow, actually ultis for the kill. I do want to play an AP Trist match today. I think I might end up doing it. It's going to be a lot of fun. AP Trist is an interesting concept of a hero. There's a lot of changes to a couple items that I think I want to try out on her, which is really the reason I want to do it so badly. They're going to try to go for the Baron right here, but I really want to try to play an AP Chess game today. But we're going to go ahead and look at this now. Alistair's going to be kind of like the bouncer. Get it? The bouncer, but he's going to go down. He's not that much of a bouncer. And they're going to easily take out the Alistair. Now they're going to get an easy Baron, I think, at this point. Wow, Baron Nashor almost took Lee Sin out, but he's going to go down to her. And she's not going to be able to ulti for about another 20 seconds. It is a ridiculously low cooldown. The Lulu's going to die once again. Lulu, actually, I'm mistaken. Lulu picked up the kill on the TF, which actually resets her gold value. So this is, they need to be a little careful here. That does actually give sight, by the way. And Rumble's going to easily be able to defend this. But as I said before, the blue team really started to throw the match there at that last push into their base. They might not be able to turn this around if this goes much longer. The late game marker is getting really close to going. But it's definitely something to look at. Ribbon's going to go ahead and back. Oh, well, no, she's actually going to continue to push. I was about to say she's going to go ahead and back, but I wouldn't do it. Definitely going to try for the push now there. Still have a little bit of time left. Lulu's going to try to take this blue buff by herself. I think she might be able to pick it up, but the Alistair's going to be able to combo down this. Here comes the TF ulti. He's there. He's doing a lot of damage. Here comes the Rumble ulti. Going to pick off the poor Lulu. And he's going to get the double kill, shutdown bonus on the onto the Lulu and the Diana. Now that's a lot of their damage gone. The Diana, she was definitely assisting to the team fights the most out of her team. She had the most damage, I feel. She is going to pick up that Sheen and going for the Lich Bane, or maybe even the Frozen Fist, which is definitely an option. And Shyvana's going to go ahead and solo the dragon. Now if they're not careful, they're going to see this. The TF is going to try to get into range for that, but he doesn't have his ulti up. He did use it to kill the Diana and the Lulu with the help of Rumble. I'm going to go ahead and see Lee Sin just pick off this. Now, Shyvana's going to come down here, and she is going to try to push this. Now, they do have a ward coverage, so she saw that. She just wanted to try to get an extra last hit in or two. But she can definitely, most likely, try to solo this this Twisted Fate. Now, not with Tristana coming in from behind. We need to watch this with a little bit of care here. She's going to do a lot of damage to those crits. 2 crits in a row, about 500 to 600 damage. She's getting in a really good positioning. She's going to ulti over the wall, but the Lee Sin will have none of that. Tristana ulti actually going out. It is only a minute cooldown at not even level 3 yet, but it'll go down a little bit more, and that's just something you need to look at when you're trying to do stuff like that and push lanes. Did not go back. If she had just gone back, she would have been able to survive that and help defend her team. She's only down for 30 seconds. She wasn't worth a lot of money, and her levels are still kind of low. So she's going to come up a lot really quickly. Now, they're not going to be able to do anything to this anyone on their team. Easily be able to pick up the double right there. She's going to jump the wall probably. She's just going to flash it. She doesn't have her jump yet, I guess. No, she does have it. I guess she doesn't want to use it just in case something happens. But I don't feel like she could have just jumped the wall. It would have been a lot easier instead of wasting the flash. But I don't feel like she's going to have to wait much longer. They're probably just going to win the game right now. They're taking out the second inhibitor. The first inhibitor did respond, so that's something they'll have to look at. If they even want to take it out, they don't have to. The super minions are still pushing. Man-moding Alistair over here, as his name implies. He's just going to be able to tank this turret pretty well, I think. He's going to probably, if they plan to stick down the tower dive, he might just keep a pop his ulti, but I don't think they're going to need it. I pop my ulti at the end of the game anyway, just because it's a lot of attack damage, and it's going to help me push down the towers to my team a lot better. There we go. See that punch go down. There's a little bit of the kill. Now the Tristana will go down, but the TF will come and pour it in, and the Lee Sin will be in the base. Oh man, that was an interesting matchup. Definitely looked a little scary for the blue team after a while. Looks like they might have actually almost thrown that match, but they really pulled it back together and said, alright guys, we need to stop messing around, play serious. And then that's what ended up happening, and the purple team lost in the end. I was pretty sure the purple team was going to lose, but they were turning it around, and their damage and their tankiness later game does get really absurd. So it's going to be a little upsetting to see that kind of thing happen to a high-level match like this. Now, I'm assuming there must be a couple people on the blue team that are a little higher elo. I'm assuming the potato and the man mode must be a little higher up on the chain. I'm not 100% sure. I don't follow alts that often. I mean, I know most people's names, but I don't follow alts all that much. So that would be a little interesting to see if that was the case. They're actually alts of professional players, and I could understand that. I mean, the Tristana did perform really well, and the Alistair did perform really well. They performed really well together, so that could be something to look at in the future. But I'm definitely looking forward to the rest of the ranked matches today. There have been a lot of big names in the ranks today. Not really know why, but it's interesting to see that many big names in the spectates. So I'm definitely going to keep doing that today and get about a lot more coverage out for you guys. So without further ado, I want to always say at the end of my videos, keep it casual and keep gaming. This is Jesus Died 24 signing off.